In this video, we're going to rank the most well-known home builders in the US. For the tier list, the S tier will be for builders that make for a dream home, which have great quality, design, and customer service. A tier will be for builders that I'd be excited to buy from. The B tier will be for builders that are good options, but not necessarily top of the line. And the C tier is for builders that are passable, but wouldn't be my first pick. The D tier is for builders that fall short, in my opinion, and I generally wouldn't recommend them, though there could be some exceptions. And finally, the F tier is for builders that I would actively advise against. To start, we're going to put D.R. Horton in the C category, and they do have some pros. They're great for first-time home buyers, budget-conscious buyers, even investors that are long-term, but there are some cons, which is why I give it a C. I see the same floor plans year after year, in fact, decade after decade, and D.R. Horton I feel is a little slow to adapt to new trends. I mean, I can walk into a home and know, oh, this is a D.R. Horton home, whether it was built in 2020 or 2002. Also, a word of caution, if you are buying into a D.R. Horton neighborhood where the neighborhood was developed by D.R. Horton, just have your agent run some comps, because I feel like sometimes they are priced a little higher than neighboring neighborhoods of like quality. And I believe that this is because they have a great sales process down. When you drive into the neighborhood, they're going to put their beautiful neighborhood pool up front. The whole process is really good as far as the sales process. And so I prefer a D.R. Horton when they are in a master planned community with competition as well as other developer standards for them to abide by. Now, even though I rank D.R. Horton with the C, just know that no matter where I rank these builders, where you rank these builders, every builder has to abide by building codes, both state and city codes. And so there is a minimum standard. You can buy any home and know that you're getting a pretty decent product. Next up is Lennar. Now, Lennar is the most profitable home builder in the entire US, even though D.R. Horton is the largest builder in the US. Now, I used to love Lennar homes. I used to love their customer service, but in the recent years, talking with sales counselors, the rumor is that their leadership has changed and it has trickled down to sales as well as customer service. And then when it comes to quality, Lennar has a range of products, but their entry level, it's super low quality to buy a Lennar home. And the choices that you get, very few choices on upgrades or design. I feel like they are a basic design builder. So with that, all of that, I'm going to give Lennar a D tier. The third builder is David Weekley. And listen, I love David Weekley homes for many reasons. So the pros about David Weekley is that their build quality, I feel, is much better than most production builders at the same price point. And you're going to know this because when you walk into the model, they're going to showcase their build quality. And when I say build quality, I mean behind the walls. So they build with 2x6s, they do spray foam insulation, which is really good, especially in Texas for those very hot summers. They have super high energy efficiency. So their quality, I feel, is very, very good. Their customer service is nothing but top notch, at least what I have experienced so far. Our clients are very happy with David Weekley homes, and they get good reviews online as well. So with that, I am going to give David Weekley, they are in the A tier. I love David Weekley. I would be happy to buy a David Weekley home for my own family. Next up is Ashton Woods. And I wanted to talk about Ashton Woods right after David Weekley, specifically because back in the day, way back in 2007 when I was a sales counselor, Ashton Woods and David Weekley were both my competitors, and they built with the same standards that I was talking about with David Weekley. So Ashton Woods has a good reputation with me anyway about a build quality behind the walls, okay? But Ashton Woods, I don't feel like their finish out is as nice, and they tend to be a little more boxy. So with that, I am going to give, I think I'm going to give Ashton Woods like a B. Next up is Perry Homes. Now, normally I love Perry Homes, and Perry Homes has the highest Google reviews, at least in Texas, for customer service and client happiness. But they have recently ranked down a little bit in my world, and I'm going to share that story with you in just a little. The pros for Perry Homes is I love their customer service. The sales counselors, the builders have always been very, very good. And I also love their 2-year workmanship warranty, which is not normal or standard at this level of a production home, or really even custom homes don't typically give you a 2-year workmanship warranty. So that's really, really good. 1 year is typically standard. For Perry, I usually like their designs. Many of their elevations are really nice with high-pitched roofs, which I love. And I like many of their floor plans look really nice. Now, the cons, why they've ranked down in my world is recently we had a client close on a Perry home, and we didn't know, nobody knew that they were buying a home with some faux windows in the front. I don't know if you've seen faux windows before. Typically they're on 1-story homes, and it just makes it look like a cute 2-story. Many of us know that they're faux, but this one was done in such a way we just didn't know. So we went to the builder and said, hey, can you put blinds on the faux windows because they don't match on the exterior? And while they were willing to do it, they couldn't do it because they painted the back of those windows. And so even if we put blinds up, they couldn't match. So I felt like this was a design error that no one thought through. They're done so well, we just didn't know. So for that, I would say I would normally put them on an A. I think I'm going to rank them down for a B. So just beware if you're buying this floor plan or one similar, beware of faux windows. Up next is Meritage Homes. Now, we've sold many Meritage homes, and there are some pros and cons. I feel like they're like a middle of the road builder, and depending on price point is what you're going to get. The lower price points are very boxy. You have very little design choice. But if you buy a higher end, then maybe you'll have some more choices. But I feel like some of their floor plans are pretty nice. Depending on price point. So for me, Meritage, they've always had great customer service. The builders that we've dealt with have been great to work with. They fix things whenever things go wrong, because with builders, it's not a matter of if something is going to go wrong, it's a matter of when something is going to go wrong. And all that I want is for the builder to fix it, right? So I would say Meritage, I'm going to rank them as a C, but I do think that they're better than D.R. Horton. So I'm going to put them in front of D.R. Horton Homes. All right, up next is Beazer Homes. So Beazer, aside from, I'm not too crazy about the name, I feel like Beazer has some good products for the price, okay? So some neighborhoods, they may be more entry level in the neighborhood, giving them more options for a buyer. So I really like Beazer Homes. We've closed on many Beazer Homes. They have some good designs. I don't say that they're the top builder or maybe have the top choices, but for the price point, we've had really good customer service. Great. Gosh, I think I'm going to put them as a B. I think if I were personally purchasing a home, I'd probably choose Perry over Beazer unless there was a price issue. So I'm going to put them behind Perry. Next up is Pulte, and we've had many clients who have sold their Pulte homes as well as clients purchase Pulte homes. And I do have some opinions on this builder. I feel like first off, they're kind of a middle of the road as far as quality. Their designs are a little bit different, which can be good. Depending on your family. Pros are they have a good entry point for price points for the budget buyer. Floor plans are pretty decent. Quality, I feel, is average for this price point. But the cons, I feel like some of their front elevations when you drive up are a little bit dated. I'd like to see more updated elevations, the front of the home. And then this could be a pro or con depending on your family, but they have trademarked Pulte planning centers, okay, where it's like a desk area that's near the living room. And when I'm showing resale Pulte homes or even new homes, sometimes clients are like, "Ooh, I love that. That's great. We homeschool, or we have we need extra office space." But many times I hear, "What am I going to do with that space, and what's it doing next to the living room?" And so if the location of the Pulte Planning Center is not ideal for your family, I don't like it. And then when you go to resell, it can be a hit or miss with your buyers. So because of all of that, the Pulte Planning Center, whether you love it or whether you don't, on the resale side, I'm going to put it as a C tier. But I think I'm going to put them above D.R. Horton. Sorry, D.R. Horton. But maybe Meritage at the same price point I like a little better. Up next is Drees Homes. Now they say Drees Custom Homes. I would say Drees is a production builder, but you can customize a Drees home, which I love. I love the versatility of Drees, which is a pro. Now, everything comes with a price, of course, but hey, if you have the budget and you want to customize, Drees is a great builder. First off, they have great customer service. I feel like their floor plans, they have some really, really nice floor plans. They have an amazing upgrade selection, great design both inside and out. They are quick to adapt to new trends, which I love. You can also build on your own lot. So they're very versatile. The cons is just that they say they're a custom builder, but I'd say that's a little misleading. They're not a true custom builder, but you can get a pretty good product and then customize it. And the other con is it can get pricey. But with Drees, I do love Drees so much, even aside from the whole custom thing, I'm gonna put them as an S on here. I think they are a fantastic builder. Our clients have been very satisfied with Drees. Next is Century Communities. Century Communities is a very large nationwide builder, but I have not sold any Century Communities. I don't have any personal experience with them, but I have shown them before, and the feedback is from our clients, at least in this area, is they're not impressed with the design. I did like that there's a neighborhood that has all 3-car garages. I thought that was great, but no one's ever been impressed enough to purchase a Century Communities home here. And their reviews on Google average a 3. So for now, I am going to rank Century Community as a C. I would feel better buying a D.R. Horton than a Century Community home, but maybe in your area, it could be a little different. So put in the comments your thoughts about Century Communities. On the lines of home builders that I have not sold is Pointe Homes. I've been on their website. We've seen some. They have unique elevations. Some are great. Some look dated. Some are boxy. So I'm sure it depends on the neighborhood. Because I don't know a whole lot about them, but I'm not crazy about their designs, I am going to rank them in the C, but I'm going to put them above Century. And probably depending on the neighborhood, I may actually rank them higher than D.R. Horton or Pulte, even Meritage. But for now, since I don't know enough about them, we're going to put them behind D.R. Horton. MI Homes is next on the list, and MI Homes, I feel, is again a middle of the road builder. Some floor plans I think are great. I do feel like they're on the boxy side, and again, price point makes a difference. But for me, I'm gonna put MI as a C. But it's hard to say if I would put them behind Pulte, but I'm not sure about a D.R. Horton. It would depend on the neighborhood. But for now, I'm gonna put them above D.R. Horton. KB is up next, and KB is an entry-level product. So you're going to have basic floor plans, basic design, basic upgrades. But I do think that for the price, I mean, you can get some pretty good, inexpensive KB homes. And so I'm going to give them a C, but I'm going to put them after Pointe. I would rather see someone buy a C-level home, even a D, a Lennar, versus renting long-term, okay? So I'm going to put them in the C. LGI, I have a lot of opinions on. I felt like their customer service is actually really good customer service. They get good Google reviews, but the product itself I'm not a fan of, but they do help people buy their first home. So I love the concept of LGI. I'm just not a fan of the actual product. If I were going to be at the same price point, I'd put them as one of the lowest tier builders. But again, I'm a fan of home ownership, so I'm going to put them in the C category. Next on the list is Toll Brothers. And y'all, this might be a hot take, but just hear me out. I'm putting Toll Brothers in the F category. Let me tell you why. Because I've had some bad experiences. First off, let me say that Toll Brothers customer service, I feel like, is not, in my opinion, my experience has not been good. Now, maybe you've had a better experience, but with multiple sales counselors, multiple build jobs, I feel like Toll Brothers has always given us the least customer service of all of the builders. So I'm sad to inform you of that. So I feel like they're selling their name, but when you compare, I've compared two price points, one at the $700,000 price point and one at the it was about 2.2 in Frisco. When you compare what you can get for your money, it was the same result. At the 700, we felt like they got a wider lot, a third car garage for a competitor versus Toll. The finish out was nicer, but I do feel like Toll had a better curb appeal, if that makes sense. Then I go to another neighborhood that likewise, we were looking at homes under 700,000, and the product of David Weekley was so much better than the product of Toll Brothers. Now, there are some pros about Toll Brothers. They have beautiful floor plans, beautiful designs, and their spec homes, they have sliding glass doors. And they're one of the few builders that you can get a stucco home. And many people love stucco homes. Although in Texas, I would say maybe that's not the best choice, although I do think they're beautiful. So there are a few things that make them stand out, but you can get sliding glass doors in another builder. Up next is William Ryan Homes. Now listen, William Ryan is new to the Texas area, so I haven't closed on a home, but I have shopped them, I've looked at them, and I feel like their quality, their build quality is similar to David Weekley, where they showcase everything they do behind the walls. The 2x6, spray foam insulation, and a laundry list of other great things that they do. And I do feel like they have good floor plans. The design for that price point was really good as far as the exterior elevation. The sales counselors were very friendly and helpful. So even though I haven't closed on this builder yet, I'm going to give them an A for now. An A for now. All right, I have another controversial one coming up here. It's Taylor Morrison. Taylor Morrison has the title America's Most Trusted Builder. And yet the reviews are less than 3. They're averaging at 2.92. I've also sold some Taylor Morrison homes, so I do have personal experience with them. I feel like their customer service was pretty good. Maybe not the best customer service I've ever had with a builder, but not the worst either. And I do feel like their finish out, not necessarily behind the walls, but their finish out is typically better at that price point. You know, if you're looking at one subdivision, they typically have a better quality finish out than another builder. For example, Toll Brothers. It was really eye-opening to see Taylor Morrison up against Toll Brothers, and the finish out quality was much better with Taylor Morrison. For the cons, I feel like whoever their PR person is saying they're the top ranked builder, the highly reviewed, all these things, they're getting some really good publicity out there, but their Google reviews are saying otherwise. I just feel like it's more hype than reality, okay? We had experience with a client that there was a leak during the build job that kept going on. And again, I don't have issues when things go wrong with a build job. They will go wrong. Human hands are building a house. You get to see the detailed process of building, and there's a lot of problems, but as long as the builder fix it, I'm okay. Taylor Morrison did fix the issue, but it was with a lot of prying. Because there was a leak in the home, it was getting the wood floors all warped in the baseboards, and I just had to make sure to like continually pry the builder. You missed this, don't forget this. And so it was just like pulling teeth to get things done where they just wanted to just move on, right? And I wouldn't let them move on. Anyway, for that reason, I'm going to rank Taylor Morrison as C because I do feel like they have a good finish out, good design. And even though we've had some issues, I actually would probably put them in the top category of C. I'd rather buy a Taylor Morrison than Meritage, Pulte, MI, and all the other ones. I just feel like they would probably be in my B category, but their customer service is bringing them down to a C. And last on this list is Highland Homes. Now, I thought Highland Homes was everywhere until I started Googling. They are only in Texas. So if you're outside of Texas, I apologize. If you are buying a home in Texas, I love Highland Homes. They have a fantastic reputation with their clients, with real estate agents. Their customer service is very, very good both before and after closing. They have high Google reviews and their designs are really nice. They kind of remind me of some of those high-pitched Perry homes on the exterior, and their interior designs are really pretty nice for what you're spending on a home. Highland is definitely in my S category, maybe A, like I go between S and A, but I just can't complain about them. I don't have anything negative about Highland. And so I would be happy to build a Highland home. I'd be happy if you built a Highland home. I'm confident in their customer service and their designs. So that's why I give them an S. Here's the final tier list on the screen. And if you want some expert help finding or building your dream home, we have a dream home questionnaire that you can fill out using the link in the description below.